This is the Transformers Generations Shattered Glass Voyager class Starscream. Pretty cool looking box. Shattered glass, new packaging. I picked up this figure at Hobby Corner for an unbelievable price of just $44. And here is Shattered Glass Starscream out of packaging. Now, before you guys go on your keyboard and start typing away, I know I was one of those who really panned this figure when it was first revealed. I'll admit, I thought this figure was going to be a waste of money. Yes, I did say that I thought this was Hasbro's laziest figure to date, because, you know, when the images came out, I thought, you know, I felt they lacked the effort to give us a proper Shattered Glass Starscream, and I mocked this figure and literally said that this was going to be the worst purchase we were ever going to do this year. And here we are, right? I was wrong yet again. And as per usual, I keep judging the figures way too quickly once they are revealed. I have to admit, I am astonishingly impressed by this figure. I cannot explain why or how, but the figure actually looks pretty awesome. The white plastic at first glance looks to be bland, but when you get a chance to handle it, actually is pretty good. I love the shade of white that they choose. It's toothpaste white. Very, very good quality type of white plastic. It feels like, you know, when you touch it, it's gonna feel like it's 3D printed, but it's not. It's actually pretty hard, firm. It's just a good kind of plastic. Let me just fix his arm. One thing you will also notice from this figure is the way the red came out. It's a little muted, but I think it just makes the figure pop. I cannot explain it, but I was expecting it to be a little bit brighter, just to, you know, have a stark contrast with the white plastic, but as it is, it's perfect. You get this nice, really nice blue clear plastic. It's not Energon blue spark, Energon spark blue type of plastic. It's really a nice, I don't know, deep blue type of clear plastic that they used for the blade or for the sword. They also used it for his chest, for the cockpit, the fall cockpit. Wow, it's just a really nice compliment to the figure. And you look at this head sculpt, coming a little yellowish on the screen, but he's not. It's actually a really nice white plastic with this really nice matte gray paint on his face with those blue eyes. It's perfect. I honestly don't know what to say. This figure just really caught me off guard. It really is a good figure. Look at the nice black highlights, red highlights, more of that clear blue plastic. I mean, for such an overused mold, this is actually one of the best versions of this Cybertronian Seeker mold that Hasbro's ever come up with. And I want to apologize for, at least to Hasbro and the designers, for really laughing and really criticizing this figure when they first revealed it, because it's a great figure. The joints are still pretty tight. There's hardly any mold degradation, even on the pegs of the null rays. The wings, the joints of the wings, joints of the waist, the legs, they are pretty solid, pretty tight. It's as though this figure was a first production product of this mold. It really is quality manufacturing from Hasbro. You get this really nice red Decepticon logo on his chest. The heroic Decepticons. Let's just quickly talk about the accessories before we move on. There's some null rays right here. Just done in white, plain white plastic, unpainted. They didn't do anything with it, but it still looks good. Here's the highlight of the accessories. He's got the the Sword of Eternia. No, I'm kidding. It kind of reminds me of He-Man's Power Sword, because it's a broadsword in combined mode, and you split it, One for Skeletor and one for He-Man. I'm kidding. It's two katana-like swords. It can wield on both hands. You can actually store it also on his forearm or on his shoulder if you wanted to, because it has pegs to do that. Also in alt mode, but it looks great. He could be like a katana wielding sort of samurai type of, of Autobot. Could rival Drift. You know, I love this sword. So transformation, get rid of the weapons. Split these in two, and off to the side. The null rays, get rid of them. Okay, transform the arms first. Open this up, fold the fists in, fold that elbow up, and close that back up. Same thing on the other side. Open the forearm, fold up the fists, fold up that elbow, and it's going to stay right there for the time being. Okay, at this point, what you want to do is detach this piece right here, fold the wings out like that. These hole-drons or shoulder spikes, they're going to fold down this way and form the nose cone of the Tetrajet. Okay, and this one, this flap right here, is going to tab onto the base of his skull, or the base of his head, and you're going to fold that head up like that, and fold that whole wing assembly up like that. And then what you want to do is you want to rotate that waist. Okay, compress the feet and the heel spurs. Okay, and just before you fold the legs, you want to remove this chest piece. Now, back in the old Siege Starscream figure, this was the piece that was causing a lot of trouble in transformation because it was so loose and it just popped off almost immediately upon transformation. But with this copy of this mold, I guess they fixed that friction joint, I should say. There's no pin, there's still no pin, it's still a friction joint, but they've fixed it. They've managed to properly assemble that, and just like the succeeding versions of this mold after the Starscream mold, once you've done that, you want to go ahead and compress the legs, press on those calves, and tab them onto the rear of his crotch piece. So just like that. Okay, and then the arms, you find those slots right there for those peg holes. You tab them in that and just lock those legs in place. Okay, once that's done, this entire cockpit and wing assembly is going to fold down this way. Okay, and then the wings, they are going to tab in over here, tab onto the arms. Come on, that. Oh, it's staying in place. Fold the thrusters in, and then finally complete it with this piece. Amazingly, it's not popping off. So kudos to Hasbro and Takatomi for fixing that issue. Oh, my bad, I forgot to align those wings. There's the Tetrajet. It was a wonderful design, despite having all the leg pieces right here. Plug in those swords. Unless you do it this way, and this one, like this. And there you go. Completed alt mode of Shattered Glass Starscream. And here is Shattered Glass Megatron in his tank spaceship cruiser alt mode. This is my own fan mode because I wasn't too convinced with the space bus, Starship Space Bus alt mode that was originally intended for this mold. So they look great. They look great together. Especially pleased with this one, with the way this thing came out. Some final thoughts on Shattered Glass Starscream. I think the figure is amazing. I judged the figure way too quickly when it was first released. I honestly thought it was going to be a waste of money, but it's not. I think it's one of the best versions of the Cybertronian Tetrajet Seeker mold from the War for Cybertron trilogy that Hasbro's been able to come up with. It's a fantastic repaint. I just wish it wasn't overpriced. You are paying almost the price of a leader class just to get this Voyager class figure. Nevertheless, I think it's a wonderful take on a heroic Starscream. I'm not sure how they could have improved this figure
because I'm pretty happy with the plastic. The P-naps are great. There's very little to zero mold degradation. I love the sword. I think the figure is perfect as it is. I actually enjoyed this figure more than Shattered Glass Megatron. The figure is going to get, oh man, dare I say it, a 10 out of 10. Oh my God. I did not expect it to look this good. Apologies to the Hasbro team, design team, for my unkind words when you guys first released this figure. You have a great product right here. I just wish you did not price it too expensively, or you did not restrict the pricing so much that a lot of collectors might have been turned off with purchasing yet another repaint. Let me know in the comment section what you thought of the new Shattered Glass Starscream. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.